Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out True Off My Chest. Story 1. Okay, my family toxic or am I just sensitive? So first of all, my English isn't the best, but I'm trying to be clear. Okay, so, I went with my sis, name, A, to my other sis, name, B, and her partner, because they expect twins. They living in another county, so we went there by Flixbus. It was a 9-hour road trip. Everything started good, until one thing. Little explanation, I was a liaise on the heavier side. Not much, people say I'm just chubby. But my dad, since my childhood, I was around 6 to 7 years old, said that I'm fat, I need to cut down on food, sweets, I need more exercise than A because she got good genes and doesn't matter how much she eats, she always stays skinny. That led me to a distorted self-image and an unhealthy relationship with food. I always ate a little, or nothing, then overate. I had bulimia too when I was like 10 to 11 years old. My mom always said I need to lose a bit weight, then don't let me lose weight, because she wanted me to be heavier than her. So back to our story, we went an all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant. I was happy, sushi is my favorite food, just so fucking expensive. So I ate like 7x6 sushi, the same amount as my sisters. But why I got bullied for this. For 3 days, they laughed at me because how much I ate that night. Then when I just ate a little, they said, OMG, how can you live on so little food? Oh, you ate so much yesterday, that's gonna keep you full for a month, ha ha ha. 3 fucking days. Now I'm home, but I continued this bullying to me. I just can't take it. Now I'm in my bed, my legs are BL0ODY because I CT myself, for the first time in almost 2 months, and I'm crying. I disgusted by myself, and TBH I don't wanna eat home anymore. Story 2. No one has ever and probably will never see me as relationship material. In 28 years, I've only experienced toxic or emotionally abusive relationships, or men constantly rejecting me because I am not good enough in many ways. Not pretty enough, not fun enough, not easygoing enough, not charismatic enough, not bubbly enough, not outgoing enough. Now I made the decision to just live in a fantasy world. I can't function in life knowing I am undesirable to nearly every single person I ever have and will encounter. So I will be delusional so I can do basic things like eat, shower, and do my job so I don't get fired because the persistent pain of knowing I am alone and unlovable is too hard to digest without entering another mental breakdown. Story 3. I broke up with my older boyfriend and now he won't stop harassing me. I'm a college student who, for less than a month, was dating a considerably older man. Yesterday, I broke up with him. He pressured me into sleeping with him one last time and tried to pressure me to spend the night at his place, at one point physically restraining me so that I couldn't call an Uber. At his insistence, and mostly to get him to shut up, I said I'd stay fuck buddies with him. I didn't mean it. My plans were already in place. Today, I blocked him on everything. First, I got a call from his work office, which is definitely a violation of company policy. I ignored it. Then, I got a text message from an unknown number, which turned out to be him parading as his coworker, that said that he'd attempted suicide over my actions. I knew it was bullshit and called him out. He admitted to lying about that. He tried to call me and kept texting me, I blocked the number. A few hours later, he texts me from a new number telling me about how he is suicidal and is going to take his own life. He tried calling, too. I blocked that number, too. He hasn't tried anything since blocking the last number, but if he continues, I might go to the cops. I'm definitely calling the cops if he shows up at my place. Turns out this dude is even crazier than I thought. Story 4. I feel so lonely that sometimes I just plan different ways to end it all. I have no friends, my wife is my only friend. But I've treated her so badly in the past that she only has resentment towards me and we only have sex every 4 to 6 weeks. We sleep in separate bedrooms. We really don't have anything in common except our 6-year-old. I feel like on the surface we are great but underneath we aren't. Zero romantic feelings for each other. Sleeping in separate bedrooms. We don't have anything to talk about. I hate talking about other people but that's what she likes. She hates talking about abstract things and ideas but that is what I like. We go out to eat and it feels like a bad date. The conversation is awkward. Did you hear Holly is having a baby? They say it's not her husband's. Me, yes, it seems like infidelity is rampant. What, there was a B body cam? And you can look at the app and see where your B is her. That would be dumb. Did you know Sarah's son got arrested? Yes, awkward conversation like pulling teeth. Our hands are the same size and it feels awkward to hold hands together. She is a half-inch taller than me and outweighs me by 80. I can't fit my arms around her and makes it uncomfortable for me to hold her. Movies, love sci-fi, crime, and detective shows. She doesn't like what I like to watch and whenever we Netflix and chill, we don't get through a whole show without complaints. Music, she likes country and bluegrass. I can tolerate country but I hate bluegrass, but bluegrass is her favorite. I like hop, R&B and some alternative. She equally hates all three but will tolerate one song for hip-hop. Church, I love when a preacher has something to say that even if I wasn't a believer, I could relate. Joel Osteen is my go-to guy. She hates Osteen but loves Tim Keller. So we worship separately. Sex, I really like soft sensual touching and caressing. Slow grind penetration. She hates soft touch, loves to be grabbed, not too rough, not too light. We have two positions, missionary and doggy. Nothing else. I'm at fault because whenever she gets on top to ride me I go soft. This usually messes up the whole love-making session. I don't like having sex with her and she doesn't like having sex with me. Spending time, I really love going to the park. Going on hiking, road trip to a different city, art museum, playing pool or bowling, skate park. She likes staying and binging shows, going out to eat, hates hiking, skating, bowling. Anyway, I just feel super lonely and detached. I'm finished my gripe. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 5. What my husband doesn't know. 4f. That I cheated on him when I was 24. This was back when he was still just my boyfriend. I know it was awful of me. We weren't married at the time but we were living together with our 4-year-old son. I got pregnant when I was 19 and we moved in together. I guess I just wasn't ready to grow up. When was 24 I was going out with a friend from high school. She graduated with me and she was still drinking and partying and talked me into it too. And no, I'm not blaming her, I know they were my own decisions. But when I was drunk she was a bad influence. There was a summer that every Friday night I was going out to Bender's, that's the local bar, with her and her boyfriend while my boyfriend stayed home with our son. We'd drink at the bar for a few hours then leave and go to someone's house to drink more, and so that my friend and her boyfriend could get high. I just got drunk and horny. My friend did too and she'd get so slutty. All night she'd be trying to kiss me and get me to make out. It was embarrassing when I was sober but I admit the more I drank the more I liked it. Until I'd give in. Then we'd end up making out. Sometimes that was all. Sometimes more happened. Much more. I'd be so drunk it's hard to remember. We'd kissing the couch and she'd get my top pulled up over my boobs and hers too. We're both short girls with big boobs. We were both like 4'11" and 3'8" dd. I'd get embarrassed because guys there would be watching. Sometimes I got groped. Then we'd stumble to a bedroom. It was always so fast after that. My clothes being pulled off. Being naked with my friend all over each other. My boyfriend knew my friend was like that with me and didn't mind if we fooled around drunk. But what I never told him was that her boyfriend would join in. I was so drunk and horny by then I wouldn't stop him. It was until the ride home that I'd feel guilty. I told myself it wouldn't happen again. But then I'd let her talk me into going again next week. And no, we didn't end up in bed together every time. I think it happened twice or maybe 3 times. But sometimes when my friend and her boyfriend would go upstairs to get high, I'd end up having a guy kissing on me and I'd be so drunk I'd just go with it. Honestly, it's hard to remember. After a few weeks I stopped going out with them. I never knew how to tell my husband, so I never did. Story 6. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I was born in a shit-poor family in a third-world country. My father, who was the only bread earner of the family, died when I was 5. My mom always blamed me for everything and ruining her life. I had no childhood, no toys. I was skinny and unhealthy with no proper relationship with anyone. I was destined to be a loser. Fast forward to present day, I'm 22, I doing my master's degree, have my business which I started from the scratch. I'm financially stable and independent, have 2 really good friends, not too many, but for someone who studies and work 24/7 I'm grateful to have them. I'm taking care of myself and physically ripped, like really ripped, touch wood. I'm still way behind my peers in terms of money and social life, but I made it all by myself. I'm proud of myself and my abilities to never give up, grow through pain and failures. Everyone around me knew where I started from and where I'm now, yet no one ever said a word of encouragement to me. So I did it myself. Love. Story 7. Happily married, but I know my high school ex is waiting. So, I've been married 21 years. Been with hubby 26 years. I dated this guy from 16 to 17 and then 18 to 19. I even had a 2-year relationship in college after that. When college guy and I broke up, I was an awful human and my ex came back and we were FWB. I asked if we should try again and he said no. 2 weeks later I met my hubby at work. My ex and I were friends. He didn't make a play for me. He met someone and after my hubby proposed, he, ex, proposed to his lady. Fast forward to now. I am happily married to my hubby and ex is now divorced. I don't want him back at all, but I wish he would find the kind of love that I have. Is that weird? I just want him to let go of an adolescent love and find true love. I should note, he only contacts me on LinkedIn and has made it clear that he's not over parts of our past. My college ex was abusive and he has more of an issue about it than my hubby. Which is again super weird. Vent over. Story 8. Friend called me saying her ex-husband physically beat her. It wasn't true. My friend called me and said her ex-husband physically beat her. She was crying down the phone. I told her to come to mine. She never came to mine, ignored my text and calls. Next day I said to her who was it. She had been hit on the nose but it wasn't so bad, she needed hospital. When I said to her, you said your ex-husband beat you, and that you should report him to the police, she then said I was drunk talking number, then said that it was a stalker. I'm not comfortable having her close to me anymore. This isn't the only thing. For example, I have a dancing and music background, so I like to sometimes go out to listen to music and dance, not to get drunk. When I've been out with her she gets too drunk, won't go home, doesn't pay for anything, then she will say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, did I do anything wrong?" She's even stood me up a couple of times for big events and not called me or text. I think she thinks I'm stupid and I know she's also lying about her ex now. I want to end the friendship. She never has anything positive to want to do apart from her wanting to go out and I'm her helper. How do I let the friendship go? That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.